Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is definitely something I gotta talk on. Cause I might come back on later on, so not gonna be on here long, but man, they talking about in this situation, they talking about the guy who lost more than they talk about the guy who won. This is another situation where the popularity in Boston is backfiring. A lot of popularity now. They talking about the end of an era. Why? Cause Joshua lost? Come on, man. People are already starting to overreact. Oh, it's the end of an era now. What young guy Dubois finna fight right now? What era? What other era finna start? It's a new era for him, as far as him reigning. But yeah, man, they using Wilder name now. Every time I turn around, I'm like, okay, so what? I'm trying to find some news about Canelo. They like, yeah, Wilder, Joshua. Man, y'all just said he done. That's the biggest hypocrisy I ever seen in my life. I'm just gonna have to call that out. I know everybody been rolling with Joshua for years and saying that he not a superior boxer wasn't the cool thing to say like it is now for some reason. But over the years, if you would, a lot of people were saying, yeah, he got skills, but as far as people just saying it's like that, no. But I'm definitely gonna drive that home because I'm seeing people now talking like, yeah, we want to see him fight next. How y'all gonna start talking about who the guy who lost gonna fight next when the champion? Who do you want to see the champion fight? Not the guy who lost. I haven't heard not one person say that. Now they're starting to say, oh well, Zhang or Parker. Zhang and Parker. I thought Wilder ain't fought nobody. They said Zhang and Parker. Hold on. This is where I'm confused at. So they want Wilder to fight Zhang and Parker. I mean, they want Dubois to fight Zhang and Parker as the best available fights right now in boxing. So those are two top 5 guys? Ain't those 2 guys that Wilder just fought? Coming off a long layoff? Oh. Then I heard somebody say, well, Dubois got a better resume than Wilder. Every time I turn around, there's somebody comparing somebody to Wilder. Why y'all ain't comparing nobody to Fury? I ain't heard nobody say, well, Dubois compared to Fury this. What about Dubois' resume compared to Fury? That's still a conversation. Yeah, exactly. Now they're gonna count the Wilder win. When they come to talking about Tyson Fury resume, that's when beating Deontay Wilder means something. Yeah, man. Every time I turn around, this dude name getting used for something. A minute ago, they said he was done. Won't want to see him no more. Don't want to see him in the ring. Soon as Joshua lose, well, yeah, Joshua can fight him. Which one is it? Is he done, or are y'all going to delete all the videos where y'all said he was done at? How do we go from Wilder being done to now Joshua being in the picture? Man, these people just be saying stuff, man. And some people take it to heart, be like, oh yeah, he is done. And then they turn around and say, well, I want to see Dubois fight Zhang or Parker. That's what Wilder just fought. Would they have said that a year or two ago? No. They only saying that because they beat Wilder. They ain't named nobody who Joshua fought. I ain't hear nobody say they want to see somebody, see Dubois fight somebody that Joshua fought. That's how you know his resume ain't like that. That's how you know it. I haven't heard not one person say, hey man, I want to see Dubois fight Andrew Ruiz or nah, they haven't. Well, Parker, he did fight Parker. But look how young Parker was though. Parker like 30 what? 32 right now? Parker 32 and Joshua fought him like 5 or 6 years ago. Dude was like 27 or something. 26. So he's always getting these guys at a young age where he's fighting them. And no, Parker was not at his prime around that time. He was probably just about to enter his prime. I think Joe Joyce got him in his prime, but nah. But like, man, give Dubois some credit. Like, but then people don't even want to see a rematch though. I mean, I had to see a Joe Joyce rematch, and he got dropped in the third. So I had to see that. That's how you know Zhang can punch. Because if he was able to do that, that means he can crack, man. And Joe Joyce a big guy. That's a tough fight. But yeah, man, they using Wilder name to get clicks. Yeah, man, he should fight Joshua. I thought you said he was done. I thought he ain't fought nobody. Now people want to fight his opponents. That's the best fights available. To be honest with you, we got more heavyweights that can fight at this time. You got McCauley still out there. Man, you got like 5 or 6 more heavyweights. They acting like the heavyweight division is just done now because Joshua lost. Man, division's still going. Right now, I don't know how long Usyk gonna be in the division. What kind of plans they trying to make? They making fights on the fly. But yeah, right now, the only thing I can actually see, well, I can't see a fight happening right now because I don't know what's gonna happen. But they trying to make Usyk do a rematch again. He was gonna end up having a Joshua rematch if he would have won. Both of those guys would have won. Or the Dubois rematch if he fights him. And then he got a rematch Fury. Man, they need to just do one fight and move on, man. They need to do just one fight and move on. I mean, they good fights, but you can have more fights to get put together right now. Especially at the age they at right now. Guys don't usually do trilogies like at that age. I mean, Triple G was doing it, but he was a lot younger than both of these guys. But he was trying to do it at 40, and look how he looked at the end. That third fight wasn't even worth it. But yeah, we using his name to try to sell tickets now. Yeah, Dubois, man, nobody thought he was gonna win. I know it was gonna be 50-50, but you know, you gotta pick somebody. But then nobody thought he was gonna win though. I already knew that was gonna happen. I haven't heard nobody bring up that's the biggest clout chase. I haven't heard nobody bring up Wilder name. Now all of a sudden, yeah, man, the fight with him and Joshua. Come on, man. That's what I be saying. Wilder ain't never looked like that in the ring against a good boxer, elite heavyweight. Even against Fury, people act like he just got all boxed. Man, stop it. Fury is like 40, 50 pounds heavier than him. Up to 60 pounds heavier. If you count that 270 something, he was weighing up the second and third fight. First fight, he went in there 250. Yeah, a lot of these guys' resumes ain't that good, man. When I was saying this a couple of months ago, I was looking crazy. A lot of these guys' resumes are not that good. Nobody want to see the guys they fought. They talking about Zhang and Parker. Well, Joshua did fight Parker, but he ain't had no real hard test since Parker like that, except for the Usyk fight. We talking about elite guys, elite fighters, the top percentage. That's what I'm thinking about. But they definitely using his name for clicks, man. They definitely doing it. They use his name to hype up everything. I said, they thinking about this fight? Why? Why now? Because I know the narratives everybody been saying. I've known all the narratives. Oh, he ducking. He don't want to make the fight. Then they were saying, why make the fight anyways? He a better boxer. Now everybody's saying Joshua should retire. The loss was that bad that he should retire? Oh. Oh, okay. That's the guy Wilder was running from? That's what everybody was saying? Man, people pushing fake news, man. People have been saying that for years. People have got millions and millions of likes and views off of saying Wilder was ducking Joshua. He did not want to fight him. Man, I'm not letting that go. I mean, we could have had all these fights going on, but people want to blow Joshua's head up like, yeah, man, he ducking you. Then you see him go through all these fights where obviously a right hand like Wilder is very vicious in the ring with him. But people want to just look past that now and be like, oh, well, let's make up a reason or let's try to get him in the ring now. I heard one person, oh man, I heard a couple of outlets say something about now the fight is back on or something like that. Oh, so y'all knew they was trying to put a fight together? Oh, why y'all make it seem like he would I heard people say he was ducking Zhang earlier this year though. Like still disrespecting people. After already saying you don't have a resume, then turn around, oh, he ducking Zhang. He ducking Zhang? Okay, man. Like dudes really believe that when people say guys don't want to fight nobody, they really was throwing Wilder name in there. Like Joshua had a resume like that. That's what kind of threw me off on a lot of things. I'm like, man, they think his resume is that good? Okay. I'm like, wow, that's shocking. But fans will see now. It's gonna be more people like that. It's gonna be more people that the media throw the extra juice on. They don't do all the fighters like that. That's why I can say this. They don't do all the fighters like that. They don't give everybody a chance. They blow it out of proportion. If you say somebody can be beat and give a good reason, they won't even go with it. They'll be like, oh man, and that just proves it. But my whole thing is I don't care about who won or lost. It's about trying to say things about another fighter when he's already been putting in a lot of work. Like I said the other day, if Wilder, if you take away all his fights and you take away those 2 Ruiz and Joshua fights, because he's technically an American fighter, and Charles Martin will fight away, I mean, you ain't really got nothing that's been happening in heavyweight boxing. I mean, Fury and Usyk just fought. Joshua ain't fought nobody but Parker, and he just fought Dubois. Okay. But people making it seem like certain heavyweights' resumes are just extraordinary and other guys' resumes ain't that good. What are we talking about? Then I just heard people saying that they want to see Zhang and Parker fight. So obviously y'all know these guys ain't been fighting Zhang. Fury ain't fought Zhang or Parker. Joshua fought Parker, but that was young. He fought Zhang in the amateurs, not in the pros. And we definitely could have seen one of those fights besides these other fights. But yeah, man. People know what time it is. Guys could have been fought. But they put pressure on one guy like, oh, you're supposed to fight everybody. They didn't even ask Wilder to fight Fury. He turned around and went and got Tyson Fury to fight out of retirement. Then all of a sudden when he fights Fury, people act like, oh, well, they act like they're supposed to ask him, they got to ask him to fight somebody. Like, he ain't need your permission to fight nobody. He was going to fight him regardless. That's the thing that threw me off. And now people starting to realize these guys have been fighting the best. They ain't been fighting the best. The resume gotta get cleaned up, man. It's getting to a point now where they only expecting one person to fight top competition and everybody else can just figure it out. Nah, man, ain't no figure it out. Fight the best or be forgotten about. A lot of these guys' careers are starting to go down. We got Wilder at the end of his career still fighting the best right now. And that's what I seen. Man, Joshua couldn't win a round this weekend. I mean, last weekend. Couldn't win a round. And people want to look past that like it's just, oh, well, now with Wilder, he can do this. Man, he needs to figure out some other things, man. He couldn't win a round this weekend. That's a huge red flag for me. Especially when you've been switching trainers like he has. I'm like, man, I'm expecting the best thing to happen right now. There's been so many changes in trainers. Then Dubois not getting the credit he deserves. Just because he's not looked at as a favorite. Yeah, man. I ain't going for that. Before I even started the channel, I already knew what time it was. People be faking it with these narratives they be pushing. And the number one narrative they've been pushing, especially dudes who've been start their channel Oh, Wilder this. Oh, that. I'm like, man, these dudes biggest videos be talking about the Wilder. And they don't got no Wilder fans on their channel. I'm like, what is this? Then Joshua lose recently to a young guy who he never was supposed to lose to. Even though I like Dubois, I thought he had a good chance. I thought he had a great chance, to be honest with you. But you ain't supposed to be losing to him. Come on. Let's be real. You ain't supposed to be losing to him. They try to now compare that to these fights Wilder had recently, when people were saying, "Oh man, he's done, man." Off a long layoff, Joshua been fighting back to back to back for years. They've had him active for years in fights. For years. As soon as the competition starts to step up, trouble start. Ruiz, then Usyk. I knew it was gonna be trouble in the Ruiz fight. Both of the Usyk fights, I knew it was gonna be trouble. That's why I said I'm going all in this Dubois fight, because if this a loss, it's gonna be a lot of people eating crow. It definitely is. Yeah, they don't like that right now. They don't like that people calling them out on this Joshua stuff. They don't like that. I mean, it ain't even about him, it's about the narratives people push. Can't believe people been saying all these years Wilder can't box, and then Joshua could win a round against Dubois. Not a round. A round. I'm talking about people who wasn't even watching Wilder early on in his career. Just came out of nowhere and start repeating the same stuff. And I'm sitting around like, they just think Joshua really superior in boxing like that. Like, he just way better than every other boxer in the UK. Like, UK got boxers. They got heavyweights. And now they figured out they got heavyweights now. Because Joshua Dubois won the favorite. A lot of people did pick Dubois. 25% of people I know on this channel picked Dubois. 25%. So a lot of people did think Dubois had a chance. I thought he had a great chance. But like I said in my mind, I was going all in on Anthony Joshua, because you don't win this fight, everybody got to take back their words. Everybody. And they know it. They definitely know it. They think boxing is easy. They definitely think boxing is easy. If you look at a lot of these guys' resumes, when they start fighting real competition, ain't no knockouts in these fights. But it's a reason though. That means they fight top competition. Fury is one of them. Joshua one of them. And then Benavidez and Crawford move up in their first fight, and everybody start tripping. They first fight, they move up in a weight class against some guys who gonna give everybody else trouble, and everybody tripping. Now it's a high standard. Man, people better keep it the same, man. Everybody not keeping it the same no more in boxing. That's why boxing look the way it does now. Ain't nobody fighting the best. These guys is aged out. I don't care what no fans think. These guys are aged out. They aged themselves out. They should have been fighting a lot more. They aged themselves out. That Fury and Wilder trilogy could have happened in 2 years. They could have fought 3 times in 2 years or something like that. And all that extra stuff that was going on. And he ain't been getting knockouts like that since. Getting up to 275 every fight. Man, we know what it is. These guys fighting guys the same size as them, or they fighting bigger guys now with skill. That's what's going on for real. They fighting real heavyweights now. That's why everybody recently, man, people telling them themselves. I just sit back and listen to these people talk. They say, "Wilder ain't got no resume." But I want to see who the best guys Dubois can fight right now. Oh, Parker and Zhang. Oh, that's Wilder just fought both of these guys like recently. What are we talking about? That mean these other guys still ain't even faced this type of competition he's been facing already. Cause I ain't hear nobody say Ruiz. Ruiz was gassed that last fight against Miller. A lot of people say he was out of shape during the Joshua fight. No, he was out of shape that last fight. But it's a lot of people afraid right now. The wall's closing in for a lot of people because they starting to see now certain people they thought was facing the best. They ain't facing the best. And Joshua was one of the first ones they seen. See, it's all right. It don't matter that Wilder lost his fights because people already thought he can't box anyways. Not me, but just certain people who asking him to fight Joshua right now, who kind of contradicting themselves. You can't box. They said he done. He should retire, but you want Josh. That's the best option for Joshua right now. Why? Because Joshua lost one fight. Yeah, he looked that bad in the fight, and that goes to show you how hard it is to get in the ring and actually fight with any boxer. That's why you gotta give all these boxers respect. They think it's easy for certain guys that's same size as Wilder to get in the ring with Tyson Fury and Joshua or somebody like that. Ain't nobody the size of Wilder got in the ring with no heavyweight. Except for Steve Cunningham or somebody like that. These other guys, they ain't doing that. Some of these guys who like 220. Yeah, Dubois a real deal. What's up, Terrell? Yeah, Dubois a real deal, man. These guys fighting real heavyweights. Exactly. He just turned 27. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. I was like, when they said he was a quitter, I was like, he did fight Usyk at 25, so I really don't like talking about the young guys like that because of that reason right there, because they might lose a fight at 25 to Usyk, but they can win a fight against Joshua at 27. So I like to tell myself not to really go in on the young guys like that. Yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, I don't like to go in on the young guys, man. Young guys carrying the sport of boxing right now. I told people last year, young guys gonna carry the sport of boxing this year. And that's exactly what they doing. We're starting to see now who the real fighters are. Yeah, Miller got a chin. Miller huge too, man. I gave Dubois so much credit for that Miller fight. Miller was like 340 pounds. He was like 340 pounds in that fight. That's insane. Yeah, man, exactly. Bro, I'm glad you said that. Thank you. Let me go ahead and thank you. I'm glad you said that. Thank you. See, you the only person making sense now. Why AJ would not fight why don't AJ fight Miller? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jarrell Miller good, man. That's why it was a good win. Dubois beat him. The guy was huge. Yeah, Dubois is an animal, man. He is an animal. That's why I tell people we need more young guys fighting each other around the same age now. Like Dubois 27, I think Benavidez 27. These guys need to be fighting older competition, man. This is how boxing gets better. Thank you to Anthony Joshua for fighting Dubois. Got to give him credit for jumping in the ring with him, because we know guys ain't doing that no more. That's why I ain't going in on Joshua too hard, but at the same time, the fans telling on themselves, man. They really are. Give these other guys credit, man. You ain't gotta trash other fighters to make somebody like Anthony Joshua be an all-time great or something. Like it's starting to get obvious now. Like give Dubois his credit and move on. And they ain't like Anthony Joshua, man. People ain't used to heavyweight fight, man. Anthony Joshua can go out there and fight 2 other top heavyweights and probably win those fights. But people so used to guys trying to just win every fight, it ain't gonna happen. It just ain't your night sometimes. Especially with the competition he was fighting, it definitely wasn't gonna happen. And I don't know what the strategy was, but I felt like the Ngannou fight was a red flag. When he fought Ngannou, Otto Wallin, I was like, nah, I can't go with those fights. It ain't gonna help him. Yeah, I know Zhang. I don't know if they're gonna give Zhang Dubois because I don't even know when they will fight. That fight probably wouldn't happen to like what, February? I told people, they was like, man, Wilder look bad in those fights against Parker and Zhang. I'm like, man, that's Parker and Zhang. That ain't no easy fight. What are we talking about? Now everybody's saying they want to see Dubois fight Parker or Zhang. I'm like, exactly. That proves my point. You just let me know he fighting top competition without telling me. I didn't gonna say Wilder ain't got no resume, but then they'll turn around and say they want to see Dubois fight Parker or Zhang. That's crazy to me. I mean, you can say that 1,000 times and people will still be like, huh? Dubois want to fight, yeah. Dubois is not far behind, but he also, yeah. I mean, he far behind enough. Dubois gonna fight another 10 years. Easy. He gonna fight another 10 years, easy. So he's really like, and he just turned 27, like, just now. He was 26 a couple of weeks ago. No, I don't think Anthony Joshua overrated, even though at times I can't stand him because of this reason. I think the fans make me not like him more than him personally. I try to lay off, but I just don't like, I feel like they wasted his prime, man, to be honest with you. It was a certain point where I want to say after Joshua lost to Ruiz, they should have started giving him kept giving him tough fights. I think he got the Usyk fight too fast. Should have kept doing tough fights. Just ain't do it. When they start giving them soft touch fights, them soft little fights, when ain't nobody going hard, dude had exhibitions almost. He had guys that was either on their way out, almost on their way out. Man, come on, man. Fight some real competition, man, for yourself. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Fans, they're going to start to realize it now, but I mean, if these fighters don't fight top competition, they're not going to get better, and they're going to end up losing like this. They're going to end up fighting these soft guys, then they're going to get in the ring with somebody who really hungry, that really is hungry, and they're going to end up losing. It happens all the time in boxing. This is why we watch boxing. It happens all the time. But what fans do is they try to trash another boxer to try to say, well, if Joshua is this and Wilder, they're not married. Like, bro, those guys have nothing to do with each other. Joshua ain't got a right hand like that. He can't even, Joshua, if he don't put no combinations together, he can't even fight at an old age. He don't got a right hand to where he could just jump in the ring and try to knock somebody out with a right hand. He can't fight till he's 40 doing the same thing he's doing now. Yeah, Zhang and Dubois got that brute strength. Zhang a lot heavier now too, though. You know, he used to be skinny. Yeah, that old clip. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, shoot, if you would have put Zhang in the ring with Joshua, it would have been the same way. Zhang is a guy you got to go into his fight. You got to be a little active going to that fight. He's like 270, 280. He almost 300 pounds. He's not a small heavyweight. A lot of times guys have trouble with size though. That's why Parker fought the way he did against Wilder. He ain't do the way he was fighting against Joe Joyce. If he would have been on the outside like that, he would have got dropped. That's why he was leaning on him. He did the same thing against Zane. But he can't do that against Dubois though. That's gonna be a bad style matchup for him. And Zane got Parker twice. How many times he knocked down Parker? Twice? He gassed out though, no gas tank. Yeah, AJ can't get in the ring with Zane. I don't know, man. Zane a big dude. I don't even know if I'll probably stick. Man, I don't know. I think Zane, that'll be a good matchup for Dubois though. That's the best fight he can have. Trying to think. Yeah, Parker, I'll give Zhang a better chance against Dubois. But I don't know. Dubois, he can fight big guys, man. But a guy that got power like that, I don't know. You said Wilder all power? Wilder can box too, man. Wilder can box too. I wouldn't say he's just all power. Because what Anthony Joshua did this weekend, that was not boxing. And he had no power. I just got to keep it a buck. You said is this a racist pro box LDBC channel or new media channel or a regular boxing channel? I don't know. I mean, when I was saying Anthony Joshua was not that good a couple of months ago, you could say that's a racist and biased pro LDBC or a new media type channel. Because a couple of months ago when I was saying Joshua is not that good of a boxer, everybody was looking at me crazy and hitting the dislike button. So I don't know. You could probably say it's one of those. You said regular boxing? Nobody does regular boxing. No. Nobody talks about regular boxing on online. uh, that's true though. Did I lie? I don't know what his name is, but yeah. Who we talking about? Yeah, I mean, if Joshua was to go in there and fight Fury right now, let's just ask a real question. I'm gonna show you how unbiased this question is. If Joshua was to go in there and fight Tyson Fury right now, he would get outboxed right now. Worse than what Deontay Wilder boxed. He'll get outboxed. Nah, I don't follow none of those guys. I seen a couple of them a couple times. Yeah, I mean, it happens when you get old, man. But at the same time, though, like I was saying a couple of months ago, it's all about what it's all about, how do I say this? Guys gotta fight. They gotta fight people, man. Once you quit boxing, everybody gonna look at your resume, and your resume gonna be what it's gonna be. That's it. A couple of months ago, when Wilder lost to Zhang and Parker, everybody was laughing like those was the worst losses you can have in heavyweight. Now everybody want Zhang and Parker to fight Dubois. So, I mean, everybody thinks certain people's resume is bad right now, but wait till about 3 or 4 years from now. We're gonna look at certain guys' resumes and you're gonna realize it's a lot of guys who ain't fight certain people, and when they did fight certain people who was the same size as them, they got beat up. When they fought guys who was 30, 40, 50 pounds less than them, then they gained 20 pounds, and then they had like a 60-pound weight advantage. You know what I'm saying? It usually happens like that. But it's no excuses though, because Dubois had a weight disadvantage against Miller. You know what I'm saying? So, no excuse in that department. But that definitely does happen. But a lot of big heavyweights don't fight each other. And they kind of aging themselves out now. They waited too long. They waited till they thought Usyk was, I guess he was going to be at a certain weight class and he was going to be a certain size or skill level was going to deplete a little bit, and it didn't. Yeah, it's going to show, man. Trust me. It's going to show. But I got respect for all boxers, but I just don't like the narratives. I don't like the narratives. Because I know the narrative I'm going to say, it ain't going to be extreme or crazy like what people saying around what I've been hearing lately. I had to walk around this year and hear people say Wilder was ducking Zhang. I'm like, ducking? Bro, ducking that word is getting extreme. They say he was ducking Zhang. The dude just went out there and got knocked out by Zhang. And they say he was ducking him. That's where boxing going now. And then we ask these other guys to get in the ring with somebody. Oh, that guy's done enough. When we start saying that? 2024? Yeah, he got wobble. And Joshua ain't throw no uppercut, man. He stepped to him. I mean, let me tell you something. When Joshua was stepping to Dubois, he was giving him work. But he was on the back foot the whole time, fighting like he was scared. It looked like a strategy. I guess he was trying to catch him on the back foot or counter him, but I don't know. He did the same thing kind of like what Hergovich was doing, and it didn't work. And the defense was horrible. But when he stepped to him in that 5th round, he ended up hurting him. But then he tried to go for the KO, and Dubois just set it up. He still has legs under him. Boom, hit him with a 6-inch punch that was one of the best punches I've ever seen. But he ain't stepped to him like that, though. Did not step to him. I mean, that Robert Garcia type of style would have been real nice for that Dubois fight, but I mean, that's what happened when you try to jump from trainer to trainer. That's what happens when you jump from trainer to trainer. I definitely didn't like that. But I just went along with the Ben Davis thing. I was like, man, it is what it is. He got the guy now. I mean, he'd have jumped around. You know what I'm saying? But I think these guys waited to the wrong age to try to make some moves. Because now Fury look like he do not want to fight Dubois. I'm not calling Fury scary or nothing, because he usually fights everybody. But man, he looks like he does not want to fight Dubois. I don't think that was the plan either way, though. To be honest with you, I think he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua either way. It's probably why he didn't want to do it. Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. I went back. I agree with you on everything you said too, especially about that second fight. I had went back and watched that second fight. He did fight smart in that second fight though. Anthony Joshua did a very good job that second fight against against Ruiz. I thought he did a horrible job the first time I seen it. Well, I didn't like the strategy, but I look back, he did a good job in the fight. He was stepping to him when he needed to, hurt him. And Ruiz, he was in better shape than people said. I'm telling you. Go back and look at the end of Ruiz versus Miller. That last fight, Ruiz looked like he needed an inhaler. He was not breathing like that against Joshua. He was in good shape. I know when a dude's out of shape. Ain't nobody finna go 12 rounds and barely breathing heavy, and you gonna say he wasn't in shape. Nah, not in boxing. Nah, he did a good job against Ruiz, but I thought Ruiz didn't fight aggressively like he should have. But Joshua, he was throwing some shots. He tried to fight the same way, but Dubois a different kind of fighter, and he came out way too aggressive. Dubois came out way too aggressive. It took Joshua like 3 rounds to get his legs up under him. To be honest with you, by the time he did, he got dropped again. Dubois was just too much, man. Yeah, he gonna be bigger. Hey, 20 more pounds on Dubois, he gonna be an animal. I think he gonna be the best of this era. I was already saying that a lot of people was heavy on Jared Anderson. I wasn't heavier on Jared Anderson as I was Dubois. Even though they like what 3 years apart, they still around the same era kind of. But I wasn't. But Jared Anderson took a loss. I mean, Dubois took a loss just like just like Jared Anderson did when he lost to Joe Joyce. So that's gonna be the same type of fight. He gonna get better. I mean, at least he fighting the guys. There's a lot of people that won't fight Bacoli. I know a lot of people was laughing at Jared Anderson, but it's a lot of guys like Joshua ain't fought Bacoli. It's a lot of guys ain't fought Bacoli. If they think he an easy fight, throw Joshua in there with him. He's still a hard fight. He said the boy was going for blood. Oh yeah, absolutely. He did not want to lose that fight, man. He did not want to lose that fight. Like what Dubois did, beating Joshua, he actually saved the sport. Because a lot of these young guys, they ain't getting no chance. A crack at the older guys. That fight helped save the sport. Bigger than the Ngannou fight did, like people thought it did. Because Dubois, it's not really no young talent at heavyweight right now. And they was expecting him to lose to probably all these guys. That's why when he fought Usyk, I'm like, whoa, hold on now. This dude coming off an injury about to fight Usyk. So that's when I thought, I was like, they're trying to rush him too fast. He ended up winning a lot of fights though. It all makes sense when you're winning. If he would have lost 1 or 2 of those fights, people would say he ain't that good though. So that's how boxing goes. That's why I say you gotta give guys credit for even trying to make the fight happen. To be honest with you. I mean, when Dubois was losing to Usyk, nobody brought up his age, that he was 25. Nobody. I mean, a couple of people probably did, but on a broad scale, nobody was running around and saying, he's only 25. Didn't nobody care about that. They like, he lost, he quit. Matter of fact, they say he quit. They didn't care if he was 25. You're a quitter. Like, he had that label on him as a quitter. And I had to go back and see if I was extreme. If I said that, I was like, ooh, I didn't say nothing like that. Okay. Because I seen that he was decent and that he was young. I ain't say none of that. I'm so glad I ain't say none of that. because now people eating crow on that end. Could you imagine calling a guy a quitter then saying he the best later on? That's a huge mistake. Especially when you're judging boxing. I mean, people gonna find out real soon over the next next 6 to 12 months, who the real top fighters are right now. These young guys, they coming in. It's gonna be some tough fights going on. Some very tough fights. But they don't know what's going on in boxing, though. They don't understand these guys trying to fight each other. A lot of them are. These other guys, they ain't fighting nobody. That's why they get losses out of nowhere, and they catch people off guard. And that's the truth. Until they start fighting actual top competition, at least once a year, they're not gonna get better. They definitely not gonna get better. People saying the heavyweight division is done now. No. They got plenty of talent in the heavyweight division. It's more talent now than it was, 10 years ago? We got more heavyweights every day. Just across the board, especially elite competition. We got a lot of heavyweights now. People are saying the era is over because he's only been stopped, twice? Big deal. I mean, if you really seen heavyweight boxing over a lifetime, that happens. Yeah, that happens, man. It's not that big of a deal. I think Dubois definitely gonna have a lot of big fights though in his career. Now that we know that he'll fight anybody, that's something that people ain't thinking about. Now we don't have to question top guys. Hey, will they fight this person? I don't know what Usyk plans are, but I know he'll fight anybody. I don't know how long he gonna be a heavyweight. I know Dubois will fight anybody. So yeah, that's what we need right now. We need to know who the top guys are and who they gonna fight. And are they gonna fight the top competition? It's sad that we even gotta figure that out. It's boxing, I mean. But I think they need to move away from trying to build up all these fights. You see a lot more people making a name for themselves by actually fighting, instead of waiting to build a fight up. Building a fight up now is getting old, man. It's a new generation. Guys are not waiting on people to build up fights. As y'all can see, every time they try to build up a fight, it does not work out. The only one that came close to working out was lately is Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. And even then, people didn't feel like he was 100%. So, not to say he wasn't, they just say, had things going on. I don't know the details, I'm just saying. But yeah, building up a fight, it doesn't work no more. Because 5 years ago, they wasn't building up a fight between Fury and Usyk. They was building up a fight between Joshua and Wilder. End up being Fury and Wilder, then Joshua and Usyk. Yeah, so building up a fight don't really mean nothing. It definitely ends up not happening. A guy ends up losing, then you turn around, and now you got to fight up another. I mean, you got to set up another fight. Fury and Joshua. They're trying to set that up next year. Usyk and Fury this year twice. Was supposed to fight last year, then this year in February, then May they fought. So yeah, man, building up fights, man, that don't mean nothing. Kind of wasting time. They better off just sending up, letting these guys fight. And just going about it like that. So you got a lot more things going on, a lot more news. Everybody tuning in a lot more. After Joshua and Dubois fought. You ain't have to build that fight up for years and years. You just put it together and make it happen. What's up, Native? Yeah, you ain't got to build up fights no more. Just put them together. Let these guys fight. That's why you got the internet now. But if these guys ain't fighting, nobody ain't gonna know who they are. People react to stuff now. They don't go back and just watch. Or wait for a fight to get built up. They'll just react to certain fights or your last fight. And if you look bad in your last fight, they're not gonna go pay for a pay-per-view. So usually it doesn't work out anyways. So yeah, they need to start making the fights right on the spot. That's the best way to go. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm definitely just chilling, man. Yeah, man, that's good. You chilling, man. That's the same thing I'm doing, chilling at the house. Yeah, but this is good though. I'm gonna tell you why this is good. Now, if Fury and Joshua want to continue boxing, they're gonna have to win a couple of more fights. Or not even win a couple of more fights. They're gonna have to fight a lot more. Especially if they want to fight each other. So you might see a lot of fights coming up soon. They might have a lot of fights being made soon. That's gonna be good. Dubois, he gonna fight anybody. So that'll be good. We know that Crawford and Benavidez will fight anybody, so that'll be good. Yeah, so it's a lot of things now. It's a lot of guys being put in position where they'll fight anybody. That's what we need in boxing right now. I mean, most of these guys will fight anybody, but you know what I mean, as far as the business is set up. That's what I'm waiting on. I just want to see this top competition in the ring before they get too old. Now a lot of people starting to realize these heavyweights are getting older. Yeah, man, like the last 4 years have not really put out a lot of fights, so we definitely need more fighters in the ring. Definitely. If it wasn't for Turkey Al-Sheikh, we wouldn't even have this fight going on between Dubois and Joshua. Or the two Usyk fight with Fury. We're trying to get this Bitterbill fight. I think it's gonna be a huge fight. I have no idea what that was. Yeah, that's his son. I don't know what that was for him. Yeah, this Bitterbill fight wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't really have no big fights coming on this year. As far as just like the top guys. What's the biggest fights we've had this year? Yeah, I know it's not. It's not. I think it's better than years past, though. I think a lot of people know who these guys are. I think a lot of these people know who these guys are. It's better than it used to be. Like 10 years ago, I wasn't really watching the heavyweights like that. I mean, it was bad from 2004 to 2014. It was horrible. I mean, the heavyweights it was, I mean, it was cool and everything to watch a lot of them, but I wouldn't say that was the glory days. I would say it's better than it has been recently. I would say that. I'm satisfied with it. You know what I'm saying? I like the fights. I'm not too. I'm not too down on it. I think it's been alright, man. I think it's been decent. The way they've been putting the fights together, now that's another conversation. I think these guys were fighting at the wrong age. Should have been about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. These guys been fighting. Would have got more fights out of it too. I think a lot of these guys got hurt in the wrong fights, fighting the wrong fights for too long. But yeah, but 2014 to like 2004, man, it was a struggle. Yeah, the 80s was that deal. I watched more 70s. The 80s was the real deal though. Yeah, the 80s when it got crazy. Yeah, I need to watch more 80s fights too. I told myself I was. I might watch some today. But 70s, those are the ones I watch more. That's some good fights in the 70s, man. They need to bring ESPN classes back. I guess since we got the internet now, we don't need it, but they used to put some good fights on there. But yeah, the heavyweight division used to be a real good division. But I think a lot of those big guys now, I was saying this before, like, I think social media kind of, big guys don't really think about boxing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not really, because they see how people, I'm telling you, most big guys now, they think about how these guys get made fun of and get knocked out and get memed, and they like, nah, I'm not finna box. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If they had social media back then, a lot of heavyweights probably wouldn't have boxed. When they see what because back then they didn't know how people react to guys who got knocked out. So they're not thinking about it. But now in the 2000s, ever since, when a guy gets knocked out and they put the picture out, and a lot of those guys won the box back then. Yeah, Larry Holmes a beast. Super heavy hands. That dude got the heaviest hands ever. But yeah, that's why a lot of heavyweights don't box though. It's gonna be a long drought of heavyweights. I'm telling you. You seen how they was after Jerry Anderson lost? That's why I was telling him, like, well, I wasn't telling him, but I was looking at him like, man, as soon as you lose, man, they're gonna be going at you. Cause I seen it. I heard a whole bunch of people like, yeah, Jared Anderson will beat Wilder right now. I'm like, I don't know why everybody got to compare somebody to Wilder. They don't think he the best, but they say Jared Anderson can beat Wilder, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's been a hard year this year for heavyweights, especially on our side. Yeah, social media changed everything. It does. It does. Especially when you watch boxing. It's crazy because with so much technology now, you can watch boxing, rewind it, zoom in, and people don't know what they be seeing sometimes. And it's just when guys get knocked out, it's just they be ready to laugh at it. Them guys like, nah, man, I'm not trying to box. I'll do something else. I'll play football or something. That's why you don't have a lot of heavyweights now. Now, in certain countries, probably in the UK, so they go hard like that, but it's not like how it is over here. In the UK, they support their heavyweights, so it's not gonna affect them getting talent. That's why they got Daniel Dubois now. They're not affected by that. But over here, and you ain't gotta be famous. You could just be somebody local and get knocked out. Yeah, man, Ali. That's why Ali the greatest, man. Fought everybody. Ain't run from no smoke. Broken jaw for 15 rounds, which is insane. Somebody else had a broken jaw too. Who was it that had a broken jaw? Wasn't it like Oscar Valdez? Somebody? I forgot who it was. He was a dog too, boy. Somebody did it recently. That was insane too. Ali fought with a broken jaw. Man. Them guys was hitting back then. They had some different kind of gloves on back then. Yeah, I think Ali definitely at the top. Dude fought everybody. Fought everybody. That's why these guys now they'll never understand. They picking and choosing they fights. I'm like, ain't nobody finna remember y'all, man. Just to be honest with you. They're gonna realize eventually. Certain fights. I wonder what fight that happened in. I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, these guys want to be remembered, man. They gotta fight these big fights, man. It's a lot of talent in boxing right now. Everybody want to be the best. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot of fighting going on this next 12 months, though. It's gonna be a lot of pressure going in. Guys gonna start to realize this pressure that other champions been feeling over the years. It's gonna get heavy. Oh my God, somebody cussing me out in Spanish. Man, yeah. Yeah, nobody want to lose the old man. I don't think they understand. Nobody cares about all that. I think a lot of their business promotional companies, they don't want them to lose either, but nobody cares about all that stuff. I got people right now that know Teofimo got whooped in the last couple of fights, and they on here calling him the best. That's how boxing goes sometimes, and I like it. Everybody got their favorites. Yeah, everybody had their favorites. We know that. But yeah, I like all boxers though, man. I really don't. At this point right now, if these guys fight enough, man, you're not really gonna care about who won or lost after a while. Just gonna want to see some big fights. But it is gonna be some trash talk. A lot of responses, as it should be. You know, you got to use the technology for what it's for. But I think a lot of guys gonna end up fighting each other. A lot of guys have fought each other, whether it's in sparring or amateurs. Guys have fought each other, but just ain't happening in the pros yet. Everybody trying to get paid and make their money. But shoot, I'm trying to put down some bets. I'm trying to get paid too. Ain't that right, Nada? We trying to get paid too. Let me put down some bets on one of these fights then. Can somebody come out here and upset one of these top fighters? Like Dubois did? That's what I'd be trying to do right now if I was a boxer. Put me in the ring with one of these top guys. Let me get the upset. Make a name for myself. Oh yeah, the wars? Yeah. Yeah, we got some good. Like a lot of fights this year have been wars. A lot of fights this year have been wars. I see some good fights this year. I see some good fights this year. Trying to think of some now. I know that Diego Pacheco card, they had some wars on there. That Komatov and Ford fight was a war. What was another good fight? I mean, that Munguia Canelo fight was borderline. I don't know if it was a war. I mean, Ford had two good fights though. He was in a good fight with Ford. I mean, with Ball and Komatov. Who else had a good fight? I had the list in my head. I know Fury and Usyk one was good. I know Probox had a lot of good fights too. I don't know. There's been some good fights coming on. But no way Probox should have more wars on a platform than these other guys. Like PBC or Matchroom. Y'all gotta have more wars on y'all fight cards, man. I mean, the card this weekend was decent. It was good. I liked it. Turkey on the sheet cards be good, but these other cards, I'm not rolling with those. I'm not rolling with them. I like the Canelo card. It was decent, top to bottom. A lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was good. It was better than the other card he had with Munguia. I thought it was a good card. But these other cards with I don't know about the Bitterbill card. I mean, with the Shakur Stevenson fight being off, it got some good fights. I know I like the Whitaker fight. They threw Eubanks on there. I gotta look at his opponent, man. I don't know. I like the card, but they took that one fight off, so not really a fan of it right now. But I like the undercard and everything, but just certain fights. I do like that Cameron fight though with Whitaker. And I like that Massey fight with Avatar. I like that fight. They got a couple of fights on there. But I'm talking about compared to the other cards of this year. I mean, it might be one. It might be one of the best cards. Yeah, it definitely might be one of the best cards. Yeah, Canelo. Yeah, Canelo a beast. He a beast. I don't know if he. I don't know if he's in his prime no more. I gotta think about it. In his prime, I don't know. I don't know if he's in his prime still. Canelo gotta hit him with one more big fight though before he get 35. I don't want to see him 35 fighting no old guys. I just don't want to see that. That's all I don't want to see. I don't want to see him 35 fighting no old guys. He's already fighting young guys. It's like super young. I mean, I'm alright with that, but he know what fights we want to see. He definitely knows. But I think these other guys gonna start to take the spotlight a little bit. Somebody's gonna end up beating someone like Bivol or Bitter Biv, and it's gonna be all over. These other guys definitely gotta start fighting some top competition. If not, they're gonna get passed over. It's gonna be a lot of people in the Anthony Joshua situation, where a young guy gonna end up sneaking up and beating them. It's gonna catch a lot of people off guard. Yeah, he's slightly not in his prime no more. I think he wasted a lot of years fighting Triple G. If he wouldn't have fought Triple G, he would have had some better fights, but that Triple G thing wasted a lot of time, man. That Triple G fight wasted a lot of time. It definitely did. He helped Triple G out a lot, so that's what position he caught himself in. If he went without fighting Triple G, he would have some better fights. If you look at his resume and when he fought Triple G. Yeah, he definitely could have had some better fights. I knew it was gonna be bad when he was fighting Billy Joe Saunders. I was like, man. I said we ain't finna get that no big fights right now. They can go end up fighting Triple G again. And he went back and fought Triple G again. It ended up being a trilogy. He probably wanted a trilogy, I guess. Didn't have a trilogy, so probably just wanted to do that. Makes sense. I don't know if it was worth it though. But yeah, he do a good job, man. He's doing a lot in boxing. I know people probably think that we ask too much of Canelo, but I mean, he's one of the best of this era, so we're trying to see how good he is. I'm definitely trying to see how good Canelo is at this point. I think Canelo is definitely a dog. Especially with that Bivol fight. If he can run, I heard people say he might run it back. I don't know. I had to see, man. Been a lot of surprises lately, so I had to see. Yeah, yeah. Canelo was fighting Triple G for a minute, man. He ended up leaving the division because of that. He wasted a lot of fights at 160. He was still at 154. If he would have stayed at 154 and just fought Charlo and those other guys at that time, it would have been better fights. He ain't had to rush up and fight Triple G. But he got paid a lot for that fight though. I forgot how much it was. He got paid a lot though. Yeah, he got paid a ton of cash. Do I got it on here? Is this it? Oh no, this might be it right here. No, that ain't it. He got 50 million for Charlo. Yeah, he got 50 million for that Charlo fight. Which is insane. So yeah, that's why he fought Charlo though. He getting paid right now. He getting paid a lot. But would he fight other guys like these other I don't even want to mention because I know it ain't gonna happen. I know it ain't gonna happen. I don't even know who people want him to fight next. I heard people say Bilbo. I don't know about that, man. The guy, he lost most of the rounds. I don't know what he could do differently. I mean, he's gotten slower and he was in his prime then and he's not. So I don't think that's a good style matchup at this time right now. Especially if he's not in his prime no more. That's how I'm thinking. If he would have got him like early on when he was fighting Triple G or something, even probably around the time he was fighting Kovalev or whatever. I think it was right before that, but probably a couple years before that. He probably had a better chance, but nah, I think he slowed up way too much. I think a lot of people think that he's actually still in his prime now. But I think he slowed down though. And I don't think Canelo who slowed down can catch him at this age. I think it'll be way too much. But yeah, I gotta go. I'm probably gonna be back on later on. I got a real topic I gotta talk about later on, but I'm definitely gonna catch y'all later. Appreciate that, Nate. I'm gonna be back on later on, man. I gotta go cut this grass real quick.